What do we have here? We have Hogwarts Legacy. Very successful video game, very popular, much sales, much controversy, transphobia, J.K. Rowling, LGBTQ community, buzzwords. All those things happen with Hogwarts Legacy, but something people didn't really expect, myself included. Goblins are anti-Semitic now. Goblins have always looked like this. I have actually done research on this. You can go goblins, historical representation. You got some really cool articles like, look, hey, the form of the grotesque when it comes to the human body, when it comes to body horror, when it comes to making people feel uncomfortable, those things are universal. Those things don't belong to a specific like racial stereotype or whatever. If they are tied with a specific racial stereotype, like in the case of the Jewish stereotype with the nose and the crooked fingers, you have to remember that it's not always like the egg and the chicken. It can be the chicken then the egg. It can be that we have a certain universal conception of what is grotesque when it comes to the body, and only then do we attach it to xenophobic, in this specific case, anti-Semitic sentiments. And that is normal as well. Once we have those negative sentiments towards a people, we will project the visual representation of the grotesque onto those people. That is a very normal and human thing. But that does not mean that now, like, f***ing Lord of the Rings is anti-Semitic. That does not mean that any goblin representation is anti-Semitic. That is, like, Alex Jones tier reasoning, okay? Just because certain chemicals are turning the frogs gay doesn't mean goblins are anti-Semitic, okay? Like, you gotta take a chill pill on this. Guess what? The goblins, in the movies, they're working at a bank. And in the books. Like, that is unfortunate if you think about the connotation. Yes, Jewish bankers, big noses, greedy fingers. The reality is, certain important figures of the Jewish community, like, Jon Stewart, who brought attention to it in the first place. He made fun of it, like, wow, holy shit, they put the goblins as the bankers. He himself has said he has no reason to believe that this is out of any kind of anti-Semitic intention. If anything, this is a portrayal of how anti-Semitic stereotypes have kind of been molded into society. More of like a systemic thing, but it's not even systemic. That's not the right word, but more like a subconscious thing that's melded into the collective consciousness. That's the term I was looking for.
I recorded one of the podcasts with Henrik and Jay, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were about all kinds of stuff, and we started talking about bar mitzvahs, and then Jay said something like he did a funny riff on it, like what chapter of Harry Potter was that? And we went off on a Harry Potter thing, right? Mm-hmm. There is no reasonable person that could have watched it and not seen it as a lighthearted conversation amongst colleagues and chums, having a larf, enjoying ourselves about Harry Potter and my experience watching it for the first time in a theater as a Jewish guy, and how some tropes are so embedded in society that they're basically invisible, even in a considered process like movie making, right?
Absolutely.
You can't go from, okay, certain anti-Semitic tropes have made it into the collective consciousness, jumping down people's throats like, the devs are anti-Semitic, they're neo-Nazis, they are promoting the death of all Jews in the video game. But hey, there's more. There's more. It's not just goblins. Goblins look like anti-Semitic stereotypes, so let's explore. What else is there? The contorted hands. Yeah. We got this is actually the contorted hands. Those like long nails and stuff. This is actually the most genuine part of the goblin representation in Harry Potter when it comes to being completely free from anti-Semitism. The long nails, the spindly, clawy hands. That this goes back to original descriptions of goblins in like British folklore. Nothing anti-Semitic about this. Let's go further still. This is just the beginning. Let's see. In the game, you can find a horn that goblins used in 1612 to annoy wizards. Here is a picture. There's a better quality picture. I actually tweeted it out at some point. So this is the picture. This is the big deal. This is the horn. Okay, so first off, quick aside. Obviously, you see where this you can tell where this is going. We're going at we're gonna arrive at a link to Jewish culture. Just before we even get there, what with this horn is Jewish? Nothing. There's no Star of David. There's no menorah. There's no writing in Jewish script. Why does this matter? You'll ask me. Well, because the horn is a universal instrument. There are horned animals on every single continent, and I struggle to think of. And in fact, there are bones on every single continent. Newsflash: there's bones, and you can make horns out of bones too. Horns are pretty close to the most ubiquitous instrument on Earth. It's not something I've researched, but just like intuitively, I'll say drums are the number one ubiquitous instrument on Earth because literally it's the lowest tech level. You just need to bang something on something else, whether it's your hand, a rock, on something, on whatever that resonates. Easiest instrument in the world, drums. Second, horns. You kill an animal with a horn. You hollow out the horn because guess what? Inside it's this like mushy like growth flesh thing that grows the horn. You hollow it out. You cut off one end. You blow in it, and you have a sound. Second fucking simplest instrument in the world. Every single culture has horns. Here's an unrelated picture of a shofar, an instrument tightly linked with Jewish culture. I'll let people who know more than me about this topic explain its exact use. Well, by the way, interesting how the person talking about this has no fucking clue what the shofar is. Oh my fucking god, I should have... Dude, this guy has no fucking clue what a shofar is. He even admits it in his own article. Because guess what? A shofar, when it's used in religious ceremonies, cannot be decorated. This is indeed a genuine shofar. This is indeed a genuine shofar. So the importance of a shofar is it's blown on certain special occasions in Jewish ceremonies. It cannot be decorated. It cannot be clad in silver. In the Ashkenazi tradition, even decorative shofars that are kept within the family, not used for religious purposes, will not be decorated. In Sephardi tradition, there are decorated shofars. You can actually look them up. Shofar silver clad. Those do exist. Silver shofars, they usually feature popular Jewish symbols that will be important, that will have ties to the religion. They are clearly tied to the culture on a fundamental level, and they show it, first of all. They show it. As you're going to say, it's a dog whistle. Well, no, it's fucking conspiracy theory what this guy is promoting. Because those shofars cannot be used anymore in a religious ceremony. They aren't even it's not about being kosher, but they aren't even like religious anymore. They're cultural. They're culturally Jewish. There's no denying that. I mean, there's stars of David's on all of them. This one is like engraved with the Jacob's name and the Star of David. This one's engraved with Jerusalem. Of course, they're culturally Jewish. I can't deny that. But they're no longer religiously Jewish. They're no longer viable for ceremonies. This, even if this was a shofar, which there's no reason to believe it is, it can't be used in a ceremony. And it's not decorated with Jewish signs, so it's not actually a decorative shofar either. It's not a shofar. It's a fucking horn. So Mr. Shofar expert, and like everyone jerking themselves off about this, missed the point. That is not a shofar. Let him get one win against Hogwarts Legacy. No. The game describes a rebellion made by goblins in 1612, which coincides with the pogrom in Frankfurt targeting Jewish people. Even that is far, far, far more stupid than what those people are saying. The pogrom actually happened in 1614. It didn't happen in 1612. The historic origins of the pogrom, of the Fettmilch uprising, started in 1612. So there still is a tie to the Fettmilch uprising, but like, I'll be real with you. You can take the whole 17th century, or even the whole several centuries before and after, and throw a dart at any given year, and you will probably find a pogrom somewhere in Europe happening in that year. Anti-Semitism has a long and rich history, and I have to say that missing a pogrom by 2 years is not an anti-Semitic dog whistle. In fact, even if they had they had nailed it, even if it was 1614, it's way too tenuous. This is Alex Jones tier conspiracy theory to me. And worse than that, it's fucking moral panic. Moral panic that dilutes and, what's the term? When you decredibilizes the fight against actual real anti-Semitism. We got Kanye West reviving and resurrecting Nick Fuentes 3 days after his death. We got both of them going on TV talking about the Jewish conspiracy to control society, to do all those things. I got hundreds of comments on my videos talking about Kanye West, where people are like, "Hell's yeah, speak the truth, brother, go, yay." He's actually calling it like it is, etc., etc. You got all those ideas being resurrected, and you got like fragile ass lefties themselves over a horn in a video game. That is pathetic to me. I am like, that's discouraging to me. Like, genuinely. I hate when people pull this card, but I feel like I have to. As a Jewish person, I hate this. I don't want people to be offended in my name if it's to be offended over futile, meaningless, conspiratorial bullshit.